say 1, 2, 3, 4. Let's give us something to talk about. Something to talk. Let's give them something to talk about. Yeah. Something to talk. Hi, you're welcome back. And of course, season 2 continues of the secret lives of adults. My name is Kojo Yankson.
Tokuta. Mine is Animwaa, Addo.
Yeah.
And together we are...
Tokuta. Please, that's an angel. Forgive us. Please, it means nothing.
Yeah, it does. A big thank you to Oak Plaza Hotels
Yes.
in Accra and Kumasi for all their support and for giving us beautiful place to film.
Yeah. Also, Comfort Productions put this together for us. We're grateful to them. And yet another great creation from Black ID.
I see. Well, hello, Black ID.
I hope.
There's 2 of us doing this show, you know. But anyways, just saying. So today, we're talking about what does normal look like.
And this is an important question. Because so many times the thing that makes you feel like ending a relationship is when you feel like it has become abnormal.
Yeah.
When you feel like it's become a perverted version of what it
Should
to
be.
So what should it be?
So, Kojo, I think a few weeks ago I texted you about something. I don't remember what it was, but so I texted you and I said, what do normal relationships look like? Because I've forgotten. And I think that for most of us, if you've had some sort of trauma in relationships, if you've been divorced, if you've had a relationship not work out, you start to overthink your reactions. So, I kind of came to a space where when I react to something, I don't know, am I overreacting? Is it normal to be upset about this? Is this wrong? You question yourself so much because you kind of forget what normal is, and so I texted you about that. And I'm still trying to figure out, what is normal, what are normal reactions, what are normal responses, what can I expect from this person that I'm with? Is this asking for too much? Is this not asking for enough? Is this a red flag? Is it a green flag? Is it a red flag because of the things I've been through, or is it just a red flag generally? So it becomes difficult to really measure and see. And then you also start to really make excuses and concessions because you don't trust your inner radar on what is normal and what is not.
Do you know what? This is what I think. I think that normal will look different from couple to couple. But in reality, there might be just about 2 rules, maybe 2 at most, which should apply to every successful relationship.
Okay.
Apart from that, the normal will differ.
Vary.
And for me, the 2 rules are these. 1, be kind to each other. 2, don't hurt each other. Or let me edit 2. Don't do things with the aim of hurting each other.
But then what if I do something but my aim wasn't to hurt you?
That is bound to happen.
But maybe I didn't think through enough, so it did.
That is bound to happen. When 2 people are involved with each other, at some point, it is bound to happen. You're bound to miss something. Yeah. If it could be helped, it would have been a rule. Don't even accidentally do things to each other.
Yeah.
But the truth is that it can't be helped. You won't. Sometimes you won't even know you've done it until.
The problem though is that normal is different from one person to another.
So apart from these 2 that I think should be constant, be kind to each other and don't do things with the aim of hurting each other. Apart from these 2, normal will have to be defined by your situation. Okay? So you, okay.
It's a tough one. Eh?
It's very difficult.
Yeah.
But look, so I think that we have been raised to think that certain things are normal. For example, if I say that your partner should make you happy, that makes sense, doesn't it?
I mean, we've learned that that doesn't really work. But yes, people...
It sounds completely reasonable. That, yeah, you should be with someone who makes you happy.
My thing in recent times is that I know that you don't have the power to make me happy, but don't make me unhappy.
Which is...
So I have my happiness. Try as much as you can not to take away from that by the things that you do.
Which is one of the two rules,
Yeah,
right?
yeah.
Don't do things with the aim of hurting.
And also be kind. It's also, yeah,
Right?
I mean, both.
It's,
Yeah.
it's there in both of them. But the idea that I should be with someone who makes me happy is someone's definition of normal. And so they will go from relationship to relationship.
Looking for the
Looking for
proverbial
that normal.
happiness, yes.
Right? What else is normal? Us men. And it is an emerging message. It never used to be echoed because I think we took it for granted. But now an emerging message is that your woman must submit to you. So to many men, that is normal. If I'm with a woman who doesn't submit to me, it's not normal. There's something wrong.
Yeah.
Right? Okay. I mean, is it a fallacy? Is it wrong? Is it a mistake? I'll tell you the truth. What we define as submission is where the problem might be. But the concept, I think, stands. It's all part of being kind. It's all part of not doing things to hurt each other. I mean, why would you pick someone as your partner and not want to be the woman he wants? Or why would you pick someone as your partner and not want to be the man she wants?
Kojo, I think, I mean, just to touch on the submission issue, in our everyday interactions, even let's say you and I, there are moments when I submit to you and there are moments when you submit to me, which is you give in to something that, you know, I want or something that you want. And in a relationship, I see submission as, you know, pretty much, you know, the same thing. It's kind of, okay, we may have two opinions. When there are two people doing anything, most of the time they're different. So whose opinion are we picking? But you see, the thing is, and the scripture on that was very intentional. So there's the women submitting to men, and then there's the men loving the women. And the interesting thing is that when there is love, submission is easy because I love you enough that I may want to do it this way, but I am not going to force it over you because I can see how much it means to you that we do it that way. And so love overrides this, you know, diabolical, tyrannical submit. Do you know what I mean? Which makes it a very beautiful play where men can be men and women can be women.
And I do agree that when there is love, submission is easy. I agree. I think that's a fact. But would you also agree that if you are going to play your biblical role, then you should submit even when it's not easy? Especially when it's not easy?
I agree that if I agree that if you're going to play your biblical role, then you should submit when it's not easy. I used to feel very powerless when it comes to this scripture. That is like, okay, I don't have a choice, I don't have this. Until one day I realized that I have a lot of power because it is for me to choose that this is the man that I am going to submit to. Which is almost at the same point where I realized that I will not marry again for love. I will not marry again just because you look good. Because if the religion that I subscribe to requires that I submit to you, you better have sense. You better be able to reason things out. I better be able to trust your judgment. And you need to show me a track record of good decisions you have made. I'm not going to submit to a fool or an idiot or somebody who I don't respect or somebody who I think I have more sense than. And I think that sometimes women feel powerless because we pick men for, oh, he can provide, or maybe, oh, we love him, without actually looking at these things. If I have chosen you and I have faith in you and I respect you, I may not agree with you, but you have shown me that you have enough sense for me to give in to what you're saying, even though I may not agree with it.
So you're absolutely right. All the power rests in you because you are choosing.
Yeah.
And why in God's name would you choose a man you don't want to submit to?
And why in God's name would you choose a man who cannot show you that he loves you enough to, even if he is wrong in his mind, to be making a decision that is out of his love for you because he thinks would be good for you?
It's back to the same
I know,
thing.
I was just saying.
Why would you choose such a man?
Exactly.
So the minute you choose such a man, you have made the choice.
To submit to foolishness.
Or to not submit. So you put yourself in a position where you can't play your role.
Yeah.
But you chose that.
Yeah.
You know, so this whole thing of, and I had this conversation with a friend of mine on social media. I think that something was posted about this whole submission thing. And she said, but what if he's an idiot? What
You
if
chose
he's
him.
Not, what if he's not sensible? What if what he's saying doesn't make sense? Why did you choose someone
Yeah.
whose decisions you can't support?
I think
you
Kojo,
can't get behind.
Also with the submission thing, and when women are choosing, is choose a man who makes room to be influenced. And for me, intimacy is influence. So choose somebody who you can talk to, somebody who knows that they're not always going to get it right, somebody who values you and your opinion as much, so that when there's a conversation, he will listen to what you have to say. In the times when he has to allow himself to be influenced, he will.
Can I give you a tip? And this is something, if obviously once you've made the decision that this guy is smart, I'm willing to build a life with this guy in which I will submit to him. Once you've made that correct decision, there are things you can do to encourage him consulting you more.
Of course.
Right?
Of course.
And this is this is an opportunity that I think many women don't take. And because they don't take this opportunity, they start feeling resentful that this man, he's not, I think he's smart. Does he not think I'm smart? Why does he not?
Can I guess?
I don't want you to, but
Okay, fine.
you can try.
Okay, go ahead. No, go ahead, go ahead.
Clearly you want to let it out of your
No,
system.
I mean, I don't know if that's what you're going to say, but I think that a woman, this may not sit well with a lot of women, but I think that a woman has to prove to a man that she can think.
Well, I mean, I'm even taking that for granted. I'm taking that for granted.
Okay.
What I was going to say was that there are times when a man will ask your opinion on things that are not life-changing.
Mm-hmm.
Give reasoned answers.
Kojo, how different is this from proving that you can think?
No, it's pretty much the same thing. But what I'm saying is that you might not see that as an opportunity to show you can think.
Well, I see every opportunity, but yeah, I get what you mean.
Are you sure
Yes.
that you see every opportunity?
As an opportunity to prove that I can think.
So-
Even when, but that has come with time and with experience and with age. So even in the middle of an emotional conversation, I'm thinking.
Like, where should we go for dinner?
That's not fair.
No,
That's
that is
not fair. That's
absolutely
not
fair.
fair.
That is the
you have
point
to have
I was
watched
trying to
season
make.
1 to understand what Kojo
That is the
just said.
point I was trying to make, because Animwaa, you were right when you explained to us the number of vulnerabilities and the number of considerations that a woman makes before answering a simple question like, should we have steak or salad?
So at that
Right?
moment, I don't know.
Now I'm telling
That's
you
why
this.
I don't know is so
I'm
important.
telling you this. Look. If a man asks you to make a choice, it's because either A, he doesn't know what choice to make, or B, he doesn't want to. And he's glad you are there so that he doesn't have to.
Well, like how you
Now,
ask me to
when
choose topics?
Yes. Like, we've already done the work of coming up with a list of 10, 20 topics to discuss. All I'm saying is, which one should we do next? And Animwaa will be like, I don't know. You choose. I don't know. You choose.
Well,
I mean, luckily, I'm not in a relationship with you. So
Luckily?
you are not, losing any opportunity
luckily.
to show that you can think. I have already taken it for granted that you can think.
Well, What is it?
But no, you see what I'm saying? How in a relationship it would play out. If the question is asked and you actually give it thought, what that does is it makes him feel like whatever question he asks you, you will give it thought. So that means you are a helper in his thinking.
Okay.
So he'll come to you with bigger things. Because when he comes with small things, you take them seriously. Do you see what I'm saying?
Yeah.
Uh-huh. So I'm saying don't let opportunities slip by. Okay? Take every opportunity to show this man that you are a measured thinker and that you can weigh things and come out with perspectives. The thing that it's not that he can't do it, but sometimes I'm just tired. He's just tired. He's been making decisions all day. So now, what to eat, dear? Or what shoes to wear when we are going out? Or which shirt to wear? Like, he just would like his helper to take some of the weight off.
You see, the problem with that is that there are people like me who have an opinion on everything. So, you see, every so often we have to do the I don't know because otherwise you'll be running your life. So,
if he asked,
sometimes we'll prompt the asking.
No,
so, won't you ask me what I think about your outfits?
Yeah, but you know that's not the same.
Yeah.
That's not the same. If he asks, he needs it. So give it. You know, and give it in a way that makes him feel like you considered this, even though it's a trivial thing. You thought it through and gave your measured response.
I get that.
Look, it just means that I can come to her
for things.
Yeah.
Do you feel like we've digressed a little bit from topic?
What we're talking? I don't even remember what
we're talking about. What is normal in a relationship?
Good.
Yeah. Now we're talking about submission but it's a good point, obviously, because submission is a big thing. But what is normal in a relationship? So I think let's take red flags, for example.
Okay.
There are some things that are automatic red flags, but there are some things that are pinkish.
Debatable.
Yeah, and it's like you would, then you're like, is it a red flag or is it not a red flag? So a friend of mine was telling me that she is in a new relationship and she's struggling a little bit because her ex-boyfriend used to live with her. So the space was theirs, and he's moved out and all of that. She's kind of done up the place a bit differently. But she's having a bit of a hard time bringing the new person into her home because of how much for a long time it was, her home with someone else. And I was asking her, okay, so how is he taking it? And she said, well, okay, for the first few months he was kind of okay with it, but he's kind of getting agitated now. Like, if you've moved on at some point, you're going to have to, I couldn't really advise her because I didn't know, automatically you'll jump up and say, oh, this is a red flag. Like, why doesn't she want you in her home? But then you're also kind of thinking, okay, she's been honest about the way she feels and all of that. But then the thing is she hoping that this guy is going to come back? A situation like that is, so then how do you pick out what is normal and what should be when two people are feeling different things?
So, look, the best way to normalize that situation is for each person to do their utmost to imagine what the other one is feeling. Okay. So, let's start with her. She's the one who brought this thing up, right? She needs to do her utmost to imagine how what she's going through will make new guy feel. Like, how's he going to feel? The reason why our relationship can't move to the next step is because of old guy. Because of him, we can't move forward.
Yeah.
Like, where's the positive message in that?
In that, yeah.
Oh, at least she was honest. No. There's no positive message in there. A person who should no longer be a factor
is a factor.
Is the factor.
So let me ask you a question then. How long should a person who is no longer a factor be a factor in a new relationship?
He should never be a factor, so you should deal with it before you start a new relationship.
Okay, so what if you didn't?
Then you've made a mistake. You've made a massive mistake, which, depending on who you are dealing with, your new relationship might not survive that mistake.
Unless you're able to fix it.
So, I mean, why would you be involved with someone new when you have such obvious hang-ups over the old guy? Like, why? Why is the new guy in your life? What's he there for? You know, there's no positive for this new guy to take from this situation. No positive whatsoever. I mean, everything about it will make him feel displaced.
Yeah.
Like he's in the wrong place. He made a wrong move. You know, this person is not his.
But you see, the thing is, I almost kind of understood her, because when I got divorced the first time, there were things that were, even though I had moved on and I had grieved, there were things that were difficult for me to do again. And I'm thankful for the people who had patience with me, because it wasn't because I was hung up on my ex or anything, but I had obviously been through the emotional turmoil, and I just kind of needed, you know, I needed to be with this person because it was so refreshing and healing, but I also needed it to go slowly so that I could, you know, the question is, and the heart of this conversation is, what is normal?
What is normal?
You know, so in situations like this, how is something not a red flag until it is?
This is my opinion. Progress is normal. Doesn't matter how slow. But if you feel like you're moving forward, that's normal. So yes, there's trauma. You've been through something. It's been tough on you. But you and this new guy, are you actually moving
Making
forward?
progress.
Right? Are you making progress? Is today easier than yesterday? And can he see that today is easier for you than yesterday? Or is it a block that you can't overcome? Because I'm sure that the difference between the two is quite clear.
Yeah.
Right? If it's an impediment, it's a thing, and this far you shall come, no further.
Yeah.
Like you can't get over it.
Yeah.
That's very different from, it's hard. I'm coming from a place where this used to be easy, but because of what happened, it's now hard. But you know what? Every day it gets easier. So maybe it's a matter of intimacy. Maybe you've been through this trauma, and because of that, intimacy is a problem. Yesterday you weren't even comfortable holding hands, but today you can hold hands.
Yeah.
Tomorrow you can cuddle. The next day you can kiss.
So that's
Days after
progress.
That's progress, right? It means that you are working on the thing. That the thing will not defeat you in that case. Progress is normal.
Yeah.
Stagnation is abnormal.
No. Okay. Another thing that bugs me, and obviously these are conversations I've picked up over the last few months, is how much of a role should our exes play in our lives and our decisions moving forward? So for me, I can answer that and say absolutely none, except of course if you're co-parenting, you know, then obviously there's some decisions that if it would affect the kids, then it's a discussion to have with this person that you were married to and that you have kids with. But in terms of ex-boyfriends or ex-girlfriends who play a very big part in the consideration of things moving forward, like what's the normal with that? Is it normal to have your exes still involved in your life, or is it normal to not have them? Because that's a very gray area now. I don't understand why it is, but I mean, what's your opinion on that?
I don't know why it's a gray area.
Well, it's a gray area because a lot of people kind of, you know, play in the middle.
Look, is he your ex or not? For me, it's as simple as that. Is she your ex or not? Okay. If there's no one else in your life, I can understand how you might continue to reignite connections with an ex.
Yeah.
Okay. Out of loneliness, out of habit, out of, whatever your reason. The point is, you're not hurting anyone else. But the minute you say that there is someone new in your life, you have to ask, what's this new person doing in my life? If there is still an ex, new guy in Oriya, then what's he there for?
Yeah.
Right? Why must an ex still have any rule?
Any say?
Any say? Why? Why must his view matter?
Matter, yeah.
Why? And if it does, then you are not ready for him to be your ex. For me, it's quite black and white.
For me, yeah. I think for me it is too, but like I said, you know, you get to a point in life where you understand that everybody kind of comes with baggage. So it's like, at which point is this baggage really damaging, or at which point is this baggage something that, you're working through and will get better? Do you get what I mean?
Yeah,
Or some of these things are just like really clear cut.
As for an ex being a factor in your decision making, it shouldn't happen when you're in a new relationship. It shouldn't. At all.
At all. I agree with you.
In fact, even while you are single, as long as the person is your ex, it shouldn't be a factor in your decision making. Unless, it's a booty call or something. And I don't consider that to be decision making. So, apart from that, your ex should not be in any way. No.
Okay, another thing when it comes to normal is the question of secrecy versus privacy. That's a good one. Yes. When is it a good thing to be secretive? Is it ever? What's the difference between privacy, secrecy? When is it normal? What are the boundaries of those, dynamics?
For me, one of those things is good. The other one is not.
Okay.
Privacy is good.
Yeah.
Secrecy, I don't think.
What's the difference between privacy and secrecy?
Maybe I'll give you an example. Secrecy.
Thinking.
Yeah, I'm scratching my head.
Okay.
Secrecy is you and I are together, but nobody knows.
Nobody knows.
Or
you and I are together, and only my people know.
That one, Crampo, it could be privacy, at least on your part.
No, I mean, like, if you and I were together, nobody of yours knows we're together. But I am not secretive, so my people know that I'm...
So for you, it's privacy. For me, it's secrecy. And that's still bad. So there's secrecy involved, so it's still bad, in my view. Privacy is that you and I are together, and only those who should know.
No.
And who are those who should know? I mean, obviously, your family, if it's a serious relationship.
If it's your close friends.
Family, some best friend of yours. Like the people you can trust.
Yeah. So your inner circle.
Yes. People you can trust not to put your business out there.
Yeah.
Because it is never a good idea to put your business out there.
Yeah.
And that's my personal philosophy here. When it comes to relationships, I do not believe in putting my business out there. Because, I said this in an earlier podcast in last season. Anything that you give to the public becomes public property.
Yeah.
Right? And I don't want my relationship to be public property.
So how about when you go out? You're going out with this person, you're going to events and all of those things. Is it secrecy to not want to do any of these things, or is it privacy?
It depends. Some things you have no choice in. So, for example, events. I have to go to events because of work. Now, I treat it as work.
Yeah, so you don't have to go with someone.
I don't have to. But if I'm dating someone and she says, "Oh, I'd like to go to this event," I'll go with her. What I might not do is I won't be seen kissing her. Obviously. Or doing anything that would make it
overly
quite clear that I'm in a relationship.
So it could be ambiguous. They could be my friend. They could be my cousin. So it's a fun. But we're here together. So that's privacy.
Yes.
But I don't want to go anywhere with you, or
that's secrecy.
That's secrecy, and that's never good.
For me, I don't think that's good. I don't think there's any plus to being secretive. I mean, there must be something that makes your relationship valid. There must be something. There must be. It can't just be the two of you who know.
I think that when we get into only the two of us know, it's a very dangerous space. Because then anything could be going on anywhere, and there's no accountability. There's absolutely, nothing. No one. Do you know what I mean? Like,
why, in fact, why must anyone even believe that such a relationship is real?
Is exactly. I've asked that question a few times. That if you're going to be so secret about something, then, and I think that we give value to a relationship. I remember there was this sermon that T.D. Jakes preached about acknowledgement and the power of acknowledgement in a relationship, and even in God's dynamics with us, how he wants to be acknowledged, and kind of getting to the point where when you have a need to be acknowledged, it's not a bad thing. So how am I your woman, or how am I your girlfriend if I have not been acknowledged to someone who matters to you, or who is in your close circle? Like, you've acknowledged me to yourself, but what does it mean? if you've just acknowledged me to yourself. Do you get what I mean? And I think that it's normal to have a desire to be acknowledged to the people that matter. I was in a relationship a few years ago, and this person that I was with just would not acknowledge our relationship. Just wouldn't, not to friends, not to nobody. People knew we were together and all of that, but he would never actually just say, "Oh, this is my girlfriend." Obviously, the relationship didn't work, and I never understood why. But that was when I started to question this need for acknowledgement, and then which led me to, all of that. Just acknowledging that, oh, this is my person. So I think, the point is that it's normal to want to be acknowledged.
Yeah. There's another kind of secrecy that I don't like, and this might be a personal thing. I don't know if it's universal. The kind of secrecy that comes with not explaining why.
Right.
Right?
Yeah.
You're in a relationship with someone, and she does something differently. She likes to do a certain thing differently, or she's doing something that doesn't quite add up for you, but she won't tell you why.
Yeah.
That thing drives me mad. Look, I can end a relationship because of it.
I'm totally with you.
Let me give you a scenario.
Give us a scenario, Kojo. We're over time, but take it away.
Oh,
this is
quick. I'll call it a scenario to protect the innocent.
Wow, the innocent.
So, I'm in a relationship with you. Now, I like to try new things. I like to spice things up. And depending on what you respond to sexually, that will guide me on what new things to try and what things to explore. So, I'm in a relationship with this girl, and I introduce a sex toy. Okay, we already have a fantastic sex life, and everything goes well, and she has wonderful orgasms, or at least I believe she has wonderful orgasms because they say.
Wow, this is you telling us a story quickly. I wonder if you were taking your time.
I'll be quick. So I introduce a sex toy, and she goes wild for it, like crazy. She loves it. She grabs it out of my hand, holds it to herself, and has quivering, quaking, splashing orgasms.
Wow.
Now, days pass. Next time she's over at my place, we do other things, and then at some point I'm like, okay, let's reintroduce what she seemed to like so much. So I reach to the drawer, and then she's like, no. I don't want that. I don't like that. Don't bring that. I'm like, oh. So, of course, I don't do whatever else. So afterwards, we're relaxed. And I say, what was that about? I mean, you seem to really enjoy it the last time. Is there a reason why this time around? No, I don't like it. I really don't like it. No. Please.
Why?
Promise me that you never use that again.
Why?
That was my question. Why? She wouldn't answer. She won't explain to me. So at some point she says, oh, it's too intense. I said, okay. But the last time you grabbed it from me.
Yeah. So what does then too intense?
So where is the too intense coming from? You were the one regulating it and, going wild with it. So where is from the too intense? No, I can't explain. It's fine. You leave it, forget it. So in the end, I never got an explanation.
For why, yeah.
Okay. Now, look, me, I'm not a sheep. I can't just do things I don't understand. So it has become a mental tick for me. Right? To this day, I don't know why she had that strong reaction to something she quite clearly liked. Right? And it's things like that. When you refuse to explain.
Yeah.
So you expect me to just
accept it. But you see, and I know we're almost done. I think our society teaches, especially women, not to question things. So I found out through the course of my life that when I do question things, and it's like, oh, you're too somewhere, you're too this, you're too that, I realized that we don't like to be questioned because a lot of times we have not thought about what it is that we're saying we believe or what it is that is our value. So when somebody comes into your life and they're questioning you, you don't have sensible reasons for what you're doing. I like people who come into my life and ask me why. It provokes me to think about why I want things a certain way or whatever it is.
But she's quite clear that she doesn't want.
No, I mean this is like an example, but I'm also talking about just life in general. So why don't you want me to come with you? Why are you doing it this way? Why are you doing it that way? People don't like that. It's like, it's too many questions. Why are you asking me why? Because I need to know that you've thought about the reason. Why are you doing what you are doing?
I thought you women were the ones who like to communicate. You like to ask 100 questions because somehow it makes you feel closer to us.
You know the thing that I love being asked questions because then I feel like you're paying attention.
Yeah.
How do you get to know someone? I've made this argument so many times. How do you get to know someone if you're not asking them questions, if you're not exploring the boundaries of their minds? Like, what kind of relationship are we building if I can't ask you why? So, for example, I ask you something, you get so triggered and angry, I leave it for a while. I'm going to come back and ask you because I want to know that you understand your trigger, you understand why you feel that way. I'm not going to live my life on eggshells just because you're triggered by something. Anyway, and that brings us to the end of this episode.
Seriously overrun.
Yeah, we'll be back.
Yeah.
1, 2